Crisis prevention and intervention has been my highest priority along with school safety for my entire career. I have personally been invited to work in communities after 11 school shootings. I've worked in the aftermath of nearly 100 youth suicides, and I believe strongly in prevention. I certainly know that schools could do so much more to prevent youth suicide than they are currently doing. But I'm here today because I'm very concerned about complacency on the part of some schools and some school administration about school safety planning. And I want to share with you 3 examples. The principal was very concerned about school safety. She implemented a number of initiatives, but she knew she needed information from her students and her staff members. She went to the superintendent's office, shared with them an instrument called the School Safety Assessment and Resource Bank, which would survey staff and students and be able to pinpoint safety needs. Superintendent looked over the document and then said, but if we were to survey our staff and students, and if we identified a problem, then we would be held accountable to do something about it. Therefore, permission was denied. And many school principals have said to me they would really like to put important lessons in classrooms about bullying prevention, learning to appreciate diversity, decision-making, responsibility, school safety, but the teachers often balk and say, we don't have time for that. We have to teach the accountability for the state performance test. The next example is a parent who called me this spring of a 5th grader. Her son saw a gun in Billy's backpack in the classroom. He repeatedly went to the classroom teacher to say, Billy has a gun. The teacher kept basically discounting that. He said, no, I mean it. Billy has a gun in class today. Finally, the teacher aloud said, Billy, do you have a gun in your backpack? Billy said, yes. And Billy was asked to bring the gun to the teacher. I'm sure everybody here can envision a 5th grade boy carrying a loaded gun through a crowded classroom and handing it to the teacher. Then the teacher took everyone aside and said, we don't want Billy to get in any trouble today. Please don't say anything to anyone. Now, that certainly highlights the need for school safety planning and training in every single school in America every year. And the young man who reported that Billy had the gun, he obviously did the right thing, as I'm sure every student who is here today would. But you see, I know that most tragedies that involve young people, they should have been prevented. Somebody always knew about their homicidal and suicidal plans. And it's interesting to ask students themselves and to survey the literature to find out, why don't they tell us? Why don't they look to the adults for help? They say, I didn't want to get involved. I didn't think it could happen. I feared retaliation. I have been conditioned not to tell. Or, I don't trust the adults in my life to do the right thing. School safety is really an inside job, and we need a commitment from the student body first, then from every faculty member, the parents, and the community. It's very important not only that we keep every student safe, we want to make sure every student feels like somebody cares whether they come to school or not. We need to build connections between students and all adults, and very importantly, their schools. And we need to take care of their social and emotional welfare and development. Those things are essential. Congress has the authority to require the same scrutiny of school safety, the same documentation that you currently do for academic performance. And every school in this country needs a threat assessment team. That's been recommended at the highest levels and from some very prestigious organizations. Yet, few schools in America actually have that team that should involve an administrator, of course, a mental health professional, and school psychologists are very well trained in that issue, and law enforcement, and a teacher who knows the student in question. What I've learned over my career is the wisest decisions in education are made by a team of people. And we need to build relationships with every student. That 4th R, it's not just reading, writing, and arithmetic. That 4th R is relationships. And I ask you simply, when we measure something, we say to everyone, it is important. And please, make every school in this country document safety planning. Obviously, we need good data. There is a tremendous need. We've heard about some excellent programs today. And I think I speak for everyone here in saying, Mrs. Walker, we are so sorry about the tragic loss of your son. But we all need to work to make sure that we do something about bullying and we do something about suicide prevention. It's either the second or third leading cause of death for children in our country, depending on where you live.